Financial anxiety. Golden Retriever can't sleep. It's 3:47 a.m. His bed is soft, his belly is full, and there are 7 chew toys in his pile. He also has a small stash of leaves and even a half-bitten apple under his pillow. But he's staring at the ceiling, like it owes him answers. The poster above his bed says, "Just bark it." He growls, not because he's broke, he's not, but because something feels wrong, like the apples might vanish, like the leaves aren't safe, like the whole apple economy is made of string and vibes. This is the part where human economists would say something fancy like perceived instability, but Dog just calls it, what if rent come early? His heart races. He opens his Banking Bone app. Still 62 leaves left. That's enough for food, but not enough for peace. Not enough to stop the doom scroll. He sees memes. How are we 23 and already tired of life? Financial freedom? Bro, I'm trying to afford pizza. Dog relates. Dog scrolls deeper. Now he's comparing himself to Golden Retriever influencers who apparently own 3 houses, 2 cars, and a Labrador startup. Dog closes app. Tries to meditate. Can't stop thinking about tax season. Meanwhile, cut to a dream sequence flashback. His ancestor, Medieval Mutt, is in 1347, losing his fur over apple inflation. We're 1 rat per leaf, he howls. Outrageous! The scene looks like a Renaissance painting, but the rat has a monocle, and the dog is wearing a burlap tunic. Even then, dog ancestors knew. The economy is spooky. Back to modern Dog, now sitting in the kitchen, munching nervously on a slice of apple. He's not poor, but his brain still acts like the apple is his last. That's not a personal flaw. It's biology. Dog brain evolved in caves and forests, not banks and interest rates. So even if Dog has enough, his brain doesn't trust it. It panics. Plans for the worst. Rehearses apple emergencies that haven't happened yet. It's like barking at thunder that hasn't barked yet. Because here's the real trick. Financial anxiety doesn't wait for 0. It starts at not sure. Not sure if the money will last. Not sure if you'll make rent next month. Not sure if you can fix the car, afford the dentist, survive a vet bill, or buy that apple without regret. Dog has some leaves, but anxiety makes it feel like none. That's the curse of the not quite broke, the financially fragile. The dogs who look fine on the outside, but on the inside are calculating how many apples they can afford to eat per week. And that's just the beginning. Welcome to the economy of fear, where you can have apples and still can't sleep. Dog finally eats the apple. It's fresh, crisp, technically perfect, but it still tastes like anxiety, like maybe he shouldn't have eaten it. Like maybe that apple was supposed to last 3 more days. The crunch echoes in his head like a mistake, because the real flavor of the apple isn't sweetness. It's stress. Dog isn't sure if he deserves it, isn't sure if another apple will come. That's the flavor of modern finance. Guilt-seasoned fruit. See, dog brain was never built for the apple market. In nature, Dog chased squirrels and napped under trees. He didn't check his leaf balance or worry about the Dow Snout Jones. Security, back then, was a full belly and no wolves. Now, Dog gets a salary, pays rent, covers subscriptions, and still feels hunted. By bills, by prices, by the passive-aggressive notifications from his budgeting app. Every time income wobbles, Dog's stress hormones throw a party. Financial anxiety isn't about weakness. It's about survival alarms built for a jungle, not for credit cards. So Dog tries to make sense of it. He builds a beautiful chart. Apple allocation plan. Every leaf has a job. Food, fun, rent, emergency. It's color-coded. It looks like hope. But then life sneezes. And the chart disintegrates. Vet bill. Broken phone. Surprise birthday dinner that Dog forgot, but had to pay for. Suddenly, the emergency fund is just fund. And the chart? On fire. Literally. He drew it with a scented candle. Dog should not have used scented candles. It always comes back to rent. Rent eats hope first. Dog counts his leaves. Big chunk goes to the landlord. Raccoon in a bow tie. Another chunk to electricity. Another to food. Nothing left for joy. So the brain stops dreaming and starts rationing serotonin. That's scarcity mindset. It's like running out of joy coupons. Not because dog did something wrong, but because the system is built like a maze with no exit sign. Every step forward costs 3 apples and your peace of mind. Then dog gets tired. Not from running, from budgeting. Budget fatigue. It's real. He tries hacks. He meal preps apple slices. He organizes his fetch schedule. He color codes his bark calendar. None of it helps. Because when you're financially anxious, managing pennies becomes a full-time unpaid internship. Dog isn't lazy. Dog is budget exhausted. Every decision feels like math homework with emotional stakes. Buy coffee? Or save for vet? Or skip both and stare at the wall? Worst part? Dog feels alone. He barks into the void. Twitter, TikTok, late night, group chats. He says, "Is anyone else broke but not broke? Silence, or worse, ads. Ad for Wealth Bootcamp. Ad for Buy Gold. Ad for invest in this new fruit that's definitely not a scam. Dog closes phone. Stares. At ceiling again. But here's the stat. Over 70% of Gen Z say money stress messes with their mental health. Dog is not a glitch. He's just part of the system. The whole pack is barking. The whole forest is on edge. Everyone pretending they're not scared of apple prices while secretly Googling how to make soup from air. Dog isn't alone. He just thought he was. Because nobody talks about the sour apple feeling, the guilt, the exhaustion, the quiet panic. But now he knows. The system is broken. Not the dog, not the apple, not the chart, just the whole dumb orchard. Dog gives up. Not in a dramatic, run away to the woods kind of way. More like a quiet surrender, the kind where he stops refreshing his banking app and starts staring at dirt. He's done with trying to outbark the system. The graphs didn't save him. The hacks didn't heal him. So he does something small. He buries 1 apple. Just 1. Not a whole investment strategy. Not a 12-week plan. Just a slightly bruised apple into the ground. Then he lies next to it. Not rich, not stable. Just still. Days pass. The tree doesn't grow overnight. No viral success. No sudden financial enlightenment. But one day, a tiny green leaf pokes out. Dog stares at it like it's magic. Because it is. It's not wealth. It's not freedom. It's margin. A little room to breathe. 1 root in the ground that says, maybe you're not doomed. Dog exhales. First time in months. Anxiety is like chasing your own tail thinking it's a predator. But sometimes the tail isn't danger. It's distraction. Dog needed to sit down. Maybe chew it a bit. Think about how he got here. And maybe what else he can plant. No big declarations. No inspirational montage. Just a quiet shift from chasing apples to planting them. Because stability isn't a vault of leaves. It's the ability to rest without fear that tomorrow will eat you. Dog didn't need a forest. He needed 1 tree. 1 act of slow defiance against the rush. That's how the barking stopped. Not with a bark, but with a hole in the ground and a maybe. Economists have long debated this feeling. Chronic scarcity stress. Fear-based resource looping. Psychological deficit spirals. But dog just calls it the barkening. When the brain won't stop barking because the future looks like a thunderstorm full of taxes. So if your mind is barking louder than your bills, it's okay to sit. It's okay to pant. And it's okay to plant 1 apple. Maybe that's not financial advice. Maybe it's just dog logic. But sometimes dog logic works better than anything else. Especially in a world this upside down. Now, if you'll excuse him, Dog's going to lie in the shade and watch his maybe turn into something. 1 leaf at a time, 1 root at a time, maybe even an apple. Someday, but no rush.